Hi everyone, it's Bob from Greybeard Models. Welcome back to the channel, and we do another Stalwart, and this time we're going to add the Inside the Armour's Atlas crane conversion. I'll put a link in the notes below to where it is on their website. It's quite a complex conversion, so without further ado, I think what we do is go over to the bench and I'll show you what we've had to do. Right, so getting into the Alvis Stalwart Atlas crane conversion from Inside the Armour. This is their part number ITA 335097 if you're interested in looking it up on their website. There's a whole box of bits there. They very kindly supply a diagram here and some lead-free solder, some silicone tube, and the grill for the top of the cab. Now, before we go through this, I mean, this early stage, we can start modifying parts in the kit. So I was looking at these two parts. So there's this part here, which is that has to have a chunk of the top removed to allow the fitting of these parts, and the roof of the cab needs the grating removed. Well, I'm going to use their own roof, which I think is a really nice piece, and in the crane kit you get the replacement grills. So I'm sort of hoping that fits that. If it doesn't, then I might have to modify it. Instead of using their roof, you go back and use the kit roof. But that's what I'm hoping. Right, so I've got part 17, which is that one there, and because I've now got that, I can then work out whereabouts on there to make the cuts. But before I do that, I think on one of my previous videos I did talk about removing parts off of these plates. Now, I did say about using things like very fine snips, but these parts are a little bit different. There's more of a reach that you've got to get into. Now, to do that, I've actually got one of these saws. This one's got had a broken blade in it, but this side's still useful. Never throw anything away unless you have to. So this side is still useful, and it's very, very fine. And I used that to get underneath part 17, which was along here, and got that off without causing any damage. If I'd have tried to get in with a pair of cutters, I think I would have damaged it. So, you know, use one of these saws. These are available all over the place. There's different companies that make them, but yeah, I mean, this is a really good tool. And even though, as I say, as the blade's broken, it's still usable. So if I take that off there, part 17 is there, and that shows me that I can actually possibly make the cut there or thereabouts, and there or thereabouts, and that will get the parts on there the same as on here, so it's like lining up the control bars there, sort of a little bit to the left of that drawer, of that cross, and where that button is, so that's there. And everything seems to be lining up fairly well. So what I've done is taped all the cab together and then put the roof on, and this is the Inside the Armour resin roof, and I've removed the middle section there that goes into, that would normally go into that little hole there, but I'm going to use this roof and then make the adjustments to that part underneath. If I take the roof off, okay, so now I can make the adjustments there, and I can get everything all sort of lined up. Yeah, good bit of dry fitting and test fitting. Best way of doing things to make sure they line up and fit. So that's the next thing, is to make that cut to add that part 17, I think it is, isn't it? I can't remember now. Yeah, part 17. So before I cut the top off there, I've also got to remove this part here and fit the resin boiling vessel in place. So there's a lot of butchery going on this part, but should be fun. Right, so finally that part there where the okay, so that part there, that's where the boiling vessel is going to go. That's all fixed in place, and the top has been cut away to provide access for the controls for the crane, and that's a bit of a fiddle and a faff to get everything to line up. There's a little bit of filling to do, and a little, just a little bit of finessing, I would say, because that as you can see, that's actually loose in there at the moment, but that will sit in there, and then once all that's in place, we can glue all that together, and that'll be that. So I think I'll leave it there, because there's quite a lot of stuff involved here in the cab part. I've checked all the lining up, and everything appears to line up fully, but like I say, it's just a matter of getting everything to line up. I've actually taken that section out, and possibly in hindsight didn't need to, but hey, that's what a lot of these modifications are like. But when the roof of the cab goes on, which I just happen to have over there, that should get everything to line up anyway. So that'll line up like so, and I'm quite pleased with that lining up. I hope that comes out okay, but yeah, that's pretty good, so I'm quite happy with that. Now before we go to the next part of the crane, which is going to be after the cab's in place, really, I'm going to need to put this in place on the hull, because that can go into place there, and then get the rear section of the floor pan put in place. To get that in place, and then start putting the what I can do is, once I'm happy with all of this being in place, I can leave the cab and concentrate on getting the crane sorted out. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that so far, and we'll go from here. I hope that's useful. I hope it sort of shows that it does go together. It's not straightforward. If you're into a bit of scratch building and that, then you should be able to cope with it, I think. But it's not overly difficult in my mind. Anyway, I hope that's useful to you, and in the next episode we'll probably get the crane together. I've got to get the, I'm going to try and get everything all lined up with the cabin, etc, etc. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please leave your comments below, and like and subscribe. Bye for now.